Welcome to this Independence Day weekend edition of Behind the Music for Daily Hope. I'm Kristin, Holton, Prouty, and I'm excited to get to share with you during this holiday that's always been one of my favorites. I love the parades, I love the picnics, I love the swimming and the boating, and especially the fireworks. As a kid, it didn't matter what we did during the day, we always knew the day was going to end with fireworks. And I hope this year, even with all of the fires and everything happening here in Arizona, that we'll still get to see fireworks this year. We'll see. But this week of victory, I wanted to take a minute and step back from the fun and the exciting part of 4th of July and think a little bit about why do we celebrate Independence Day? In worship this weekend, we're reading from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, where the Apostle Paul talks about these handicaps that he was given, and he really struggled with them. He kept asking God, please take this away from me, take it away from me. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Until God said to him, my grace is sufficient. In your weakness, I will be your strength. And so that goes against everything that we know to be true, right? When we think about the strongest and the tallest and the prettiest and the most outgoing and the most talented and the richest, it's always about the most that are the winners, what we would consider to be the winners in life. But here, the Apostle Paul is told it's okay to be weak. God has the strength. And to tie that in a little bit with our country here as we think about Independence Day, when we were struggling to become independent, we were battling against Great Britain. Great Britain with its large armies and its fancy uniforms and their powerful, expensive weapons, and they came in on their big ships. And America, early days, did not have that. We just had scrappy people pulling together whatever they had, and they had to use their weaknesses to their advantage. They had to do things that were considered unorthodox at that time. They were throwing tea into a harbor. They were ambushing because they were out in the woods, and they could do that. And so they were just taking advantage of their weakness. Now, Independence Day was first celebrated in 1777 in Philadelphia. And even then, it was so early on that we had just written the Declaration of Independence, and they were already celebrating. And it's continued to be an important day for all of these years. So I wanted to share with you this weekend the national anthem. This was based on a poem by Francis Scott Key, and it was set to a popular British tune. Now, there's a setting by the American composer and organist Dudley Buck. It's called Concert Variations. And due to time constraints, I'm not going to share all the variations with you. He wrote a theme and 5 variations. But let me just play for you first the tune. I think you'll recognize it. So that was the theme. Oh, say, can you see? You know this song. I'm sure you've been singing it since you were in grade school or before. So due to time constraints, I'm not going to play all the variations for you, but I wanted to touch on the 4th and the 5th, which is the final variation. The 4th variation is called minor. And so I thought, as we're talking about weakness and strength, to go to the minor. So we have our nice, exciting major, which you just heard, and now we're going to take it to a little bit of a darker place and see what you think here. that beautiful? But a little bit melancholy, right? That could be our weakness. But it doesn't stop there. We have that feeling of anticipation that something better is coming, right? We have the confidence that in our weakness, we are made strong. So the final movement is titled a fugetta, which literally is just a small fugue. It doesn't go on and on and on, like if we were Johann Sebastian Bach, we'd be here for 20 minutes. This is just a short fugue based on this melody that we've been hearing. Let me play it for you. And we add another part. So that's what a fugue does. It starts with one, and then joining together, it gets stronger and stronger. We've had one, we add two. The next thing that enters is the pedal. Continues to add more parts to get thicker and to get stronger until we have a part over here where the pedal actually has two parts going. So I'm using both my right foot and my left foot. We've got the hands playing and the feet playing. Here we go. That's pretty exciting. Usually when I'm playing the organ, I only have one foot at a time, but sometimes the composers like to make you do double duty there. So that's really fun. So anyhow, the fugue, I love how it ends. It's nice and strong. We've had a little reminder of weakness, and then the reassurance that Christ is strong enough. His grace is sufficient. So this weekend, I hope you have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. I look forward to being with you either here in person or on our live stream. And I'll be back with you again next week.